I don't know how to break this to you without hurting your feelings, but your feelings need to be heard. Nick Cannon is not smart by the least.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What is going on, y'all? We have got to talk about Nick Cannon. We have got to have a conversation about Nick Cannon in a way that is constructive so we can understand that this man is a hotel scammer. So I just got through watching a little bit of his interview on The Breakfast Club. And of course, you know, some people might say, well, you need to watch the whole interview. You need to watch. I don't have enough brain cells to give to The Breakfast Club, let alone Nick Cannon, to be able to make it for the next couple of days. So I can only watch certain clips. And I watched enough, and knowing Nick Cannon's history, that this man is not smart at all, and he's like a walking contradiction. So while watching these clips and just gathering thoughts of, you know, Nick Cannon talking about Eurocentric ideas, and that, you know, it is a Eurocentric level of thinking to think that one person owns somebody or someone is supposed to be with one person. And it sounds like that Nick Cannon is understanding some level of, you know, white supremacy and all the other stuff, but Nick Cannon is only taking pieces of the things that we come to know as white supremacy and all this other stuff. Like, he's only taking certain pieces of it. Because Nick Cannon, to start, I'm very confused at how we're having a conversation about Eurocentric anything when all of the women who you are having children with, the women who you have chose to carry your seed to bring us some life in this world, most of them, if not all of them, fit Eurocentric beauty standards. All of these women are light-skinned. Some of these women are non-black. Some of the women are white passing. Some of these women are ambiguously black. You have a history, you have a history. So I'm very confused at how we're listening to you talk about, you know, these things when you're very much so participating in said things. So I started to do some research on Nick Cannon because I was very curious and I wanted to know, because where did this come from? Where did this originate from? And I went back and I found an interview that he had did with Riza Islam, and it was on his Canon Class YouTube show that I think he still does content from them, I don't know. But I went back trying to find this interview where he was very happy and gushing over the fact of being with, you know, light-skinned women, non-black women, Asian women, white women, all these things. And he was just talking about like white women are the prize. And he was speaking in kind of like, you know, as he was speaking for black men, but he was also speaking for himself. Now, this dropped in 2019. If you go to Canon Class on YouTube and type it in, it is not listed as a video on that YouTube channel. The video is now private. The video hasn't been deleted, but the video is now private. I had to do some research to find it. And in the interview, I'm not going to post all of the clips and stuff from the interview, but you can, if you do your Googles and you search, you can find it, because I don't want to have to deal with a copyright strike. Nick Cannon is gushing over the fact, while talking to this man about, you know, being with non-black women, he was just saying that, you know, essentially like the seed is so strong, it really doesn't matter because we're making a black child. Nick Cannon, you are the worst of the worst. You are picking and choosing what conversations to have to benefit you. You don't care about black folks succeeding. You don't care about black folks. Black folks have literally took your corny ass and made you who you are now, only for you to turn around and have children and pass on whatever wealth you have left to these kids by these non-black mothers. And I'm not even talking about the mothers. I don't want to have a conversation. That's a conversation for somebody else to have. But I want to talk about you as a cis hetero black man who thinks it's your job to, you know, populate and carry your seed and carry the generation on, when you are failing all of these kids. Like, we want to talk about polygamy and all of these things. Y'all are not doing no research. Y'all are not doing no understanding. It's like, it's just, I take it, I'm gonna give you a prime example. I went to saltwater aquarium a long time ago. I did research, I did a little bit, and I was like, okay, this is how much money I gotta spend, I'm gonna get it. Got it, 2 clownfish I had, they died, they didn't make it. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't do the research, I didn't go and do the things I need to do to keep these clownfish alive, to keep the fish alive. Because I wanted the instant. I wasn't interested in taking my time. That is what Nick Cannon is doing with this polygamy situation. You are trying to do things to benefit you without considering these children's future. There is only 24 hours in a day. There is no way, shape, or form, there's no way that you can be in each one of these children's lives when they're all in different houses. So you got these 7, 8, or whatever have you know, baby mothers or whatever, who you're only supporting financially. That is the bare minimum. And we've become so used to that, like that we think that, oh, you're taking care of your kids financially is like, you need an A+, you need a sticker, you need a lollipop to go home. Girl, that's the very bare minimum. That is the bare minimum at the very least. And that's not enough. You need to be providing these kids love. You need to be a figure in these kids' lives, not you going over here for 20 minutes a day and turn this into a full-time job. We got an hour here. Nick Cannon, not even to bring up the point that you, even in your own words, talk about your mortality. You talk about the fact that you might be gone any second, or you know, this and that. And I want to make sure that I'm addressing this and having conversations with the ultimate care, because you know, Nick Cannon has revealed that he has lupus and he's suffering from this disease. But I think he's being dishonest with it. Not with being dishonest with him having an illness, but I think he's using this as a way to support his claim to having children. And it's selfish. A lot of people, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of folks who choose to have kids are very selfish. A lot of folks. I hear people talk about I just want a child, they look good. I just want a child, I want to be able to dress them up and all these other things. And I want my child to be able to do this and that. And it's very selfish. It's very self-serving, because a lot of folks, a lot of people who, you know, talk about their children don't even let their child even develop their own personality and decide what they want to. I mean, we're still even having gender reveal parties in 2021. With all the conversation with trans women, trans men, non-binary folks, we're still celebrating genitalia for a child and determining their sex at birth and all of these things. So it's just like, a lot of us don't care about the kids. We just don't. We don't. And I'm looking now, like, the same stuff that Nick Cannon, you know, and other folks, all these other hotel folks, about some fatherless men and these children ain't got no fatherless, like, these sons ain't got no, y'all are doing, this is the same stuff. You had all these cis hetero black men gassing this mess up, and a lot of these households are going to be fatherless. It's not like Nick Cannon has all of these children in one community, like one little like community or one household, or on a big farm, a big house or something. These children are all over the world, like, well, not all over the US, they're spread across. Nick Cannon only has 24 hours in a day. We're gonna give him 6 to 8 hours is him resting. He works how many jobs? He does Wild 'N Out, he does what's the name? When does Nick Cannon have time for these children to make sure that they are getting the love and support besides just the mother? Since we want to talk about nuclear families and stuff and all that, and I'm here for that, like, hey, you know, a nuclear family is a Western ideology. Like, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Most definitely. But, you know, just, you know, saying, oh, I'm gonna have a bunch of them, like, I'm gonna have a bunch of kids all over the place, and this is how I believe in, and, you know, da da da. Like, I go back to his interview that he did with Rizza Islam, and this man, the way he talks, and that's why the video is not available on his YouTube channel no more. This man is not interested in like the advancement of black folks. He's not, like, this man is literally trash. when them white folks was telling you to kiss the ring and they was telling you all of those things and you don't respect the folk, you kissed the ring. You kissed the ring. You did not make any sacrifices for yourself. You didn't say anything that was revolutionary. You didn't challenge anything. The stuff that you said was a bunch of BS anyway. You were talking out of the side of your turban on your head. Like nothing was coming out of there but like hot air. Nothing was coming. It wasn't even coming out your mouth. It was coming out your head because it ain't doing nothing but steaming. Because it ain't nothing but shit in there. Like Nick Cannon just not smart. Like he talks in a way that makes cis hetero black men feel like, oh yeah, this is the stuff. So they already don't have no level of a lot of them don't have no level of thinking and understanding all of these things other than patriarchy. That's all they want to benefit. So that's all you had was a bunch of cis hetero black men gassing him up and saying all of these things and doing all this stuff when cis hetero black men are already doing that already. Y'all already having kids with multiple and not like doing the minimum and paying, like y'all already doing that. So what's the difference? All y'all are the same, doing the same stuff. Nick Cannon, girl, if you were interested in that, you would be choosing black folks, period. But even in that interview when you talking to Risen Islam, you were more focused on getting the ultimate prize, which was a white woman. Something that you couldn't have and something that was your ultimate goal. So how does that advance black folks? How does that advance black people? When you're sitting here passing on the money that you've made from black folks lifting you up and supporting you so you can take your ass on Wild and Out. Because we've been supporting you since all that. And then you took that, like selling black content and all this other stuff and black da-da-da-da. Now you out here doing all these things. Now you out here like having children with non-black folks. And passing on your wealth, all of this. This is, you by the block folks are the worst. Y'all are cancer. And he ain't buying no block, but he might as well. This money, this support that we've given him, now he's taking it on to another generation of some of them black children, and a lot of them ain't black children. So like, it's just, and a lot of them gonna need therapy, to be honest. Because Nick Cannon is not approaching this lifestyle with no care. Like, how are my children going to feel bringing them in this world with how can I make this better for them? See, y'all be so worried about like other things, like two male parent households, 2 female parent households, and all this other stuff. When y'all have been doing damage from the beginning and continuously doing damage in the name of whatever you want to call it this week. Because that's essentially all this is. Nick Cannon don't care about the advancement of black folks. You can see that. And if you can't see that, you ain't looking hard enough. This man is literally on this interview talking to this man, like gushing over being interested in having children with white women. Like, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Like, and I'm watching, like, even it was so much bullshit coming out of this man's mouth that even Charlemagne had to call it. Even Charlemagne had to call it. Yes, you can say, oh, I don't own a woman, I do this and that, but you're the same individual who is out here, like, thinking that Bill Cosby should be in jail. Like, you're the same person who, like, supports people like that. So you want to bring your children in a world where you supporting abusers and like what? You're not interested. You want to be just like these folks. You want to be like you are dangerous. Like you are like these folks with these ideas are cancerous to the black community. Like y'all are terrible. Y'all are terrible. And then I'm listening to him and Charlemagne talking about, oh, black women are the thinkers, they the leaders and all this other stuff. Like y'all, it sounds really cute. It's like some shit y'all put on a t-shirt, support black women. But what work are you doing to protect black women other than saying that shit out of your mouth? What bullet have you stood in front of to protect the black woman? Charlemagne, you can't. When you out here giving black women Spanish fly. Like, girl, like, and you can't, Nick Cannon, because you too busy out here supporting folks who out here causing harm. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, I can't even remember, I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Cannon was one of the folks that think that R. Kelly did no wrong. Matter of fact, I think he was one of the folks like, what about Harvey Weinstein? What about all this? You don't care about black folks. You care about getting ahead. That's all you care about. And then to end this point and all the stuff I'm bringing up, this further proves that council culture is no real thing. Because like Nick Cannon's out here saying all this stuff that's essentially harmful to black folk and still out here getting booking deals. The only time his ass got a tap on the hand is when he started disrespecting white folk. That's the only time. Oh, you can keep that stuff over here, but don't bring that mess over here disrespecting us. Because we make shit move over here. And they let it be known. And that man was not interested in taking that man got and kissed the ring because he had enough money to sit on the side and not be pressed about it. But Nick Cannon knew that at the end of the day, he didn't even believe the bullshit he be saying. And that should tell you everything. That's all I got. I can't spend too many brain cells talking about Nick Cannon. But do your research, go look at it, girl. This man ain't smart, and he's only smart to those who do not do the research and who do not have any care about black folks and who don't have the range. So the folks who don't have a range think that Nick Cannon is smart. And that's truly unfortunate. Maybe I should listen to black women. Period.